people are talking about this in the cycling world, this 1200 kilometer PBP. What is it about? So that is where I wanted to challenge myself and see, experience it myself. What is it about? PBP has about close to 12,000 meters of elevation. It is almost 1.5 times of Everest. You may find that you have a puncture, you have to do it on your own. There's no help, assistance anywhere. 89 hours or 90 hours for completing 1200 is not difficult. It is only about managing your sleep, which I messed up totally.
Hi everyone, all my dear subscribers and all the new birds. Welcome to the channel. Once again, my name is Adip Kundra and this is my 6th vlog. अभी बज रहे हैं सुबह के 7 and it's a lovely weather in Hyderabad. But here I am to introduce to you all once again a very interesting personality. He's a retired Lieutenant Commander from the Indian Navy. He's in a very senior leadership role in the biggest of the big 4 consulting organizations. But we are meeting him because, for him, fitness is a part of his lifestyle. Health is priority. Very recently, he participated in the Paris-Brest Paris race, which goes up to 1230 kilometers, and he completed it by cycling non-stop for 89 hours. So let's go and learn something from Lieutenant Commander Ramesh Swaminathan. So viewers, as I said, right now I am with Lieutenant Commander Ramesh Swaminathan. Sir, welcome to the channel.
Thank you, Adib. Thanks a lot.
Sir, so I was telling my viewers that you recently participated in the Paris-Brest Paris race, which went up to 1230 kilometers, and you cycled non-stop for 89 hours. So sir, how did you actually achieve that milestone?
So there is it doesn't happen overnight, right? There is a lot of preparation into going into that, and so I was always an athlete from school days. I used to represent my school in district level, state levels as well, once, twice. But that continued with me even when I went into Forge. But I was never a serious sports enthusiast as such. Yes, I used to like running, and Navy taught me swimming as well. So that got added to into my repertoire. But my serious change happened when around 2012, when I was just climbing a few flight of stairs, and that's when I realized that my body is not keeping up with the age that I was going into. So that's where the transformation happened. I slowly started getting back into shape, starting with small 5K runs and 10K runs, and moving on gradually. I had done multiple marathons by then, around 2015, 2016. And then that's when this bug of triathlon bit me. Couple of my course-mates have also done that. And I got inspired. And that's where the journey actually began in 2015, 2016. A few triathlons later, I realized that, I've done all that is there, what is required from a triathlon perspective. And then what next, right? So that's where I got into cycling in terms of, full-fledged kind of sport. I've done, so before you get into 1200 PBP, in short, we call it PBP, Paris-Brest Paris. There are certain qualifications that are required to be ticked off. So they are called as BRMs. Okay, those are randonneering. The term is called randonneering, and they are called brevets as such. So these are terms which you will get to know if you get into the cycling arena or the sport. These are all endurance rides, but more importantly, they are timed, but at your own pace, and they give you enough time to complete those events also. So the slowest speed that you can go is around 15 kilometers per hour. It is not that difficult at all for any human being, right? Who is doing normal day-to-day activities, they will be easily able to do. What is difficult is sitting on the bike, because your saddle is small, and then concentrating on the road. Indian conditions is very difficult to ride, so that's where the challenge is, and you have to tune your mind accordingly. Slow and steady. You start with 100-kilometer ride, then 200, 300. You keep on pushing your boundaries to 400, 600. So these are required to be completed in one calendar year. to be qualified for the PBP. Once you do that, there is a lottery system which comes into play. You have to register yourself, and if you have done the highest number of distances, the longer distances you clear, the better chances of you getting into the final event of PBP. So I had done 1,000 kilometers also before I registered, all in Hyderabad as such, and so it is over a period of time that I have developed this. It's not overnight which it happens. So, and yes, it's an expensive sport. There's no doubt about it. So, when you get into this, it's only after your middle age commitments are done. That's when you start, thinking about these additional things that you can do. So the inspiration was more about, people are talking about this in the cycling world, this 1200 kilometer PVP. What is it about? So that is where I wanted to challenge myself and experience it myself. What is it about? So that's where the bug bit me, as such. And, yeah, 1200 kilometers, it is not non-stop. You have a time limit of 90 hours to complete, and I just barely made it in 89. A lot of challenges along the way as well. You have to manage your sleep, you have to manage your food, your intake, and then you have to be within those. There are checkpoints at various places, and you need to keep getting into those checkpoints within the stipulated time. So a lot of planning is also required in this sport. It's a technical sport also. Things which you can do, which you cannot do, keeping those things in mind. A lot of multiple things which are there. Your heart rate, your speed, your time, those metrics also is very important. Your cadence, how fast you can pedal, cycle, and plus the elevation. So PBP has about close to 12,000 meters of elevation, which is almost 1.5 times of Everest, right? So that's how high it is. Yeah, so that's where the PBP bug sort of began.
So when you said it's more of a technical kind of a race, also you have to keep those technical parameters also into the mind. So for a moment, I felt it's more or less like you're flying an aircraft where you're keeping so many technical parameters in mind. So you're saying the PBP race is also something on that level only. That besides your physical parameters and your fitness and your endurance, you're keeping a lot of things calculative in your mind as well when you are actually a part of the race.
You can plan only that much, but then you have to take it on the stride, whatever comes your way. You may plan to reach a particular checkpoint within a stipulated time, get some sleep there, but it always never happens. You may find that you have a puncture. You have to do it on your own. There's no help, assistance anywhere. So you become half of a bike mechanic as well. Your brakes may fail. That it does happen. So you need to, get those things also sorted. Your saddle may just decide to go down, right? So because of the nuts, or your lights may not work. So there are too many things which you have to be aware, and so your awareness is what takes you through to the end. And that's why it's challenging, because 89 hours or 90 hours for completing 1200 is not difficult. It is only about managing your sleep. Because I didn't find the distance challenging. It was more about, how I could control my sleep. Because it's short bursts, those power naps is what I was, totally relying on. And the biggest thing is about the food intake, which I messed up totally. And that's where it led to 89 hours. Otherwise, I think I would have easily done it in 80, 81 hours or so. I lost a lot of time. I had acidity problems. I vomited a lot. So loss of water, dehydration, staying. Then luckily there were doctors in those checkpoints. So my aim was only to reach those checkpoints as such. And the doctors helped, and they said you have to rest. So I was losing time on those parameters. But luckily at the end it just I was barely able to make it.
So, sir, what was a fun moment in the entire race, and what was a moment when you actually felt कि नहीं, I cannot pursue it more further?
Oh, fun moments are very many actually. First of all, right from the day where we started off with the collecting the kit bag.
Okay.
So it happens a couple of days prior, and You go and collect your kit bag, you see a sea of people from different countries and all enthusiastic, young, old, oldest. I think the oldest rider was an 88-year-old.
Okay.
Okay, from from France, and so age is just a number, and there are people who have done it multiple times. The maximum which I mean, a person whom I met was, I think he has done 7 times. And there was the seventh that he was doing, and he was doing with his wife also. So there are tandem bikes, basically two people sitting on the same bike and riding. The wife was doing for the fourth time, and he was doing for the seventh time.
Okay.
So you get to meet a lot of different people from different cultures, all enthusiastic, everybody cheering you along. So the fun moment and multiple stages you can keep, witnessing that. And the crowd was amazing, simply. They had opened their doors for us, whether it is night, day, evening, rain, cold, everything you have to endure. And they were there for us, pouring hot cup of coffee or pancakes or waffles. So it was, a treat. It was an experience to cherish. There's no doubt. The bad moment or the worst moment is again the acidity part, and I really felt I after the first checkpoint, which was, or rather the mid, not even the midpoint, the 1/3 point, which is at 400 kilometers, I thought maybe I think I should stop because my body was just not supporting me. I was vomiting a lot, and my entire system was burning inside, and thanks to those doctors, I don't know, whatever antacids they gave me, I think it worked. After 4 or 5 hours of rest, it did help, and then I continued. So that was the low point in the entire thing, and that was the only time when I started, getting those doubts. Yeah. So that was the only time when I had those doubts about, maybe I should quit. Okay.
But sir, what was the thing that actually made you drive it forward? The, how did you actually just finish it? Like, okay, the doctors did support you to a certain end, but I came across this phrase in my last interview that, if it is to be, it is up to me. So, sir, आपके दिमाग में भी कुछ ऐसा driving force था? What was your source of inspiration when you were actually having that low moment in your race?
See, I'd been planning this for a while. Okay, I mean more than a year. My wife was also there she was going to be there at the end, when I finished the race. So that was a set of motivation. I didn't want to, come back by train, and then meet her there. So I wanted to cross over the finish line. So that was always there at the back of my mind to finish it. Even if it was not within the 90 hours, I was still okay to, finish it at least. That's fine. Maybe there is another, maybe it's not this time, maybe the next time I would do it. But, it was always about, okay, the next checkpoint is only about 80 kilometers away. Let me do that. It was only a smaller step which I was taking, and then assessing myself, okay, am I all right? Hydrating myself enough, a lot of water and salts which I was having. And that sort of over, slowly it started coming back. I was more on liquid diet. Ice creams I had a lot. Okay, so because my entire system was inside was burning, so I really wanted something cold, and not any of the citrus, soda related stuff. It was only ice creams, and that too those vanilla ice creams, which French. I think they are the masters of it. Okay. And frankly, that I think that is what sort of helped me continue to, to reach the midpoint and then back. Once I reached the midpoint, it was fine. I was fine like by then.
So basically, you kept smaller goals.
Smaller goals, yes,
kept
keep
achieving them one
achieving
by
them.
one.
It was always that, okay, 80 kilometers, roughly it takes about 3 hours for any normal ride. I used to take, okay, let me do it in 3.5. I used to do it every 1 hour, take some break for 5 minutes and again start off. That was what I was doing till I reached that halfway mark. Return leg was fine. It was thankfully the body sort of recovered by then. But then I had lost a lot of time till I reached the midpoint.
Well, sir, your PBP race is one part of your fitness journey. But as you said, like starting from 2012, when you realized that you need to be more fit, that's when you started your journey. And I understand that has been a part of your lifestyle so far. So we have seen that in our youth, especially the focus on health is not that much. We nowadays we are into that kind of a corporate culture where it is a desk job for 12 to 15 hours a day, and the importance given to the health is very minimal. So, sir, what advice would you like to give to the masses, to the viewers over there on the channel, to uplift their health, bring fitness as a part of their lifestyle?
You're right. I mean, the way that we are right now living our lives, right, with there's a lot of distractions which are there, and we always find that excuse of saying that we do not have time, right? See, if it's an excuse you want to accept, it is yours to accept. Human mind is such a complex mind, right, and a complex machinery as such that you just tune it in a way that you can motivate yourself. Motivation can be your children also, your peer, your spouse, your friend, your office colleague, anybody, your the old gentleman in your apartment, anybody who's just getting up in the morning every day and doing their routine of. See, we just need about half an hour in a day, right, to just remain decently fit. If you are able to do that, I think that's a great step that we have taken. 30 minutes of walk. You again set smaller goals. If today you're walking for 30 minutes, can I increase it to an hour? If that is done, then maybe I can start running. If that is done, can I pick up another sport? When right now I'm not running, but when I used to run in the mornings, I used to like the breeze hitting my face, right, in the cool air when nobody is around. That used to be my me time, right? These days, I swim a lot. I get into the water. That is my me time. Now today you've seen me cycling. That is my me time. So I do find time for myself. Otherwise, it is very difficult to channelize your thoughts, your energies, and you will always be grumpy, right? You will find excuses to point fingers at others, but not at yourself. Your family life may go for a toss because of that. I mean, small things, you'll get irritated, angry. You can, you'll take it out on your family as such, or anybody who's, dispensable, you can do it on that. So these things help you to be in control, to channelize your energies, your thoughts, that ways. And one important thing is take your family along. You don't know, your spouse might get into the sport, your kids might get into the sport, your family members might get into the sport, your peers in the organization might get into the sport. So you will become like a role model for many of them. So the mantra is get up, keep the alarm away from your bed. I think that is important. We generally have our phones next. I mean, these days nobody has an alarm clock. You use your mobile only mainly, right? And try and keep it at a distance so that you have to by force get up to switch it off. The moment you get up, just get into the bathroom and splash water on your face so that you're up. So, because getting up in the morning is always a bit of a challenge for many of us. Some small tweaks, tips that you can get. And if you're getting into serious sports, get a coach. It doesn't matter if you spend a little bit of money, but do it right, because the coach will give you tips which will prevent you from injuries, most importantly, and improve or increase your or the longevity of you being in the sport, and have the right equipment. Running is such a simple sport, right? You just can run barefoot also. But if you're used to running with shoes, then pick up a right decent shoe, right? It's not about just any random shoe that you wear. There are some physics and there is some mechanics in the shoes also these days. So pick up the right shoe, right equipment, which is what I'm trying to tell, and then start your journey.
Well, sir, those were quite insightful insights, I would say. But yes, Not sure about the family, sir, but looking at you, definitely have set a trend. You are a source of inspiration to many. I keep saying that to everyone that I've interviewed, but yes, I believe what I've learned from you is that to start your fitness journey, 30 minutes in a day is all it takes. Exactly. And if I can't spare out those 30 minutes, then there's probably something wrong with me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, see, what we tend to forget is we try and find excuses. You know, there is a new series on OTT, there is a new movie on OTT, or you know, I can't feel like getting up today. You know, those are the common excuses that you hear. Time is always there. It's when you how you make use of it, right?
Well, sir, it was great to have you on the channel.
Thank you so
And
much, Abhi.
thank you for sharing such an incredible story.
Thank you so much, Adip. And yes, hope this journey of yours also continues.
Thank you.
And you have many more such people whom you can get inspired and get inspiration to our viewers also. Thank you so much for having me.
So you have to conclude the video by saying, please like and subscribe to Adip Kundra Vlogs.
Please like and subscribe to Adip Kundra Vlogs.
Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone.